Now, there's a recent trend on TikTok to show military men usually crying or being distraught because they're catching their wives cheating on them while they're being deployed on active service. And there's so many videos of this happening to the point where I have backers and people on Subscribestar that are asking me to talk about it. And I will, but I don't think you're going to like what I have to say. Like as a backer, I will talk about the videos that you're suggesting me, but the opinions and the take that I may have may upset you. So take that into consideration. Now, what do I think about this? Well, first and foremost, I gotta say I don't know how many of them are real, and this is also an important conversation to have. The reason you have so many viral videos is because people are jumping on the bandwagon. Like there are content creators out there, they're noticing that these types of videos generate a lot of clicks, so they do their own. Many of them can be fake. People make money, or they can transform the views into subscribers, and that's one of the incentives that they have to do videos. And if they know that this topic makes them viral, then, well, it's not that difficult to get in a car and say, oh, I was deployed and I found out that my wife cheated. Or even if you have a girlfriend that's willing to do it, like if she's willing to put her face on the internet and be an actor, you can have another viral video where I seen like one getting blindfolded and she's got like these billboards in her hand and she's like, oh, I cheated on my husband, and then she gets served the divorce papers, right? I don't know how real that is, but okay, whatever. My point is, let's assume that they're all real. All right. The second conversation would be, look how awful women are. Now, people who watch my channel know that I'm not a feminist, but there are certain times where I need to step in and say, hold on a little bit. If something happens to both genders, it's not fair to eliminate the context and pretend that it's only happening to one gender. And also, like, the stereotype and the stigma, I don't know how things are in the West, but I can tell you that here in Eastern Europe it's not true because people are individuals. And I have seen women that wouldn't cheat on their husband who went to prison for several years. I know my grandmother who lost my grandfather when she was young and she never married or dated any other guy. So there are exceptions, right? Now, is this the rule or the exception? I don't know, but I do know that in the West, the legislation and the way things are and the culture may be encouraging women to be more promiscuous. That is a possibility. I can only speak for my country and my culture regarding this. However, I do know that even in the West, it takes two to tango. So what about the men? Right? Like, if you know that she is a married woman and her husband is in the military, why are you being a homewrecker? Like, where is the social stigma towards the men that are doing this? Because, like, one of the things that I like to complain about feminism is that it takes away responsibility. But isn't this a similar situation? Like, yeah, sure. Okay, her husband is in the military and what she is doing is beyond the pale. But I have seen TikTok videos where she's cheating with the husband's best friend. She's cheating with the husband's brother. Like, come on. I'm not saying that she's not guilty if that's the situation. But what about the guy? Like, and when I brought it up to a couple of people. And they're like, well, yeah, but like the guy has no responsibility. Well, maybe he should. Maybe he should have responsibility. Not towards the man that she is married with. But he should have responsibility towards the community and towards the moral principles. Like, if she has children, you are being a homewrecker for what you're doing. So, yeah, no, I definitely think that the men are to blame in this as well, unless the man doesn't know. So, like, if you're out there, you're just dating, and you happen to meet a woman and she's wonderful, and you're having a relationship with her, and then you find out that, oh, well, actually, she has a husband, then that's not your fault. Right? So I would say that there are situations where you can't blame the men and the women are responsible. But this idea of cheating, right? Like, a lot of people are blaming modern culture, and I'm pretty sure that it does put gasoline on the fire. But cheating has existed throughout human history in every single culture, to the point where in the medieval period in Europe, and even right now in certain places, they would kill adulterers. Like, they would stone adulterers. And despite the harsh punishment, despite all of that, people would still cheat. So I think it's human nature to cheat, and I don't know what causes cheating. Obviously, some people do it and some people don't. I met people, both men and women, that were incredibly faithful, and they would make absolutely sure that they're not going to cheat. But I also met the opposite. I met people that were in very happy relationships. They had everything they wanted. Their spouse was wealthy. Or gave them a lot of children, and they were having happy marriages. There was no domestic violence, no abuse, no nothing, and yet they would cheat. It's also like a mental issue in some cases. Like, I know people who are addicted to this. Like, they actually like the concept of cheating. They actually enjoy the concept of not being caught. So they're doing it not necessarily for the sexual gratification, but they're also doing it for the adventure, I guess. Like, they like the adrenaline rush. It's like a drug to them. They can't help it. So it depends from person to person, I suppose. I also disagree with this feminist concept. It's like, well, if she's cheating, then she wasn't happy. If she's cheating, then it must have been that she was mistreated. It's like, no, again, there are individual cases where that doesn't happen. And to just have an idea, a pre-existing condition, like even before you know the case, even before you talk to the people, even before you understand what's happening, you already have a conclusion. Like, I can't stop you from doing that, but it's very unlikely you're going to have a correct assessment. What I did notice, however, is that the opinion on cheating is definitely spread among gender roles. Like, women will blame men for cheating, and men will blame women for cheating. Like, it's almost universal. Very rarely you're going to have someone with a nuanced opinion, like myself, who's like, well, actually, let's look at the individual case, and let's see what happened. I do not assume that, oh, well, she was cheating because she was being abused, and that must be like my starting assumption point. Or that she was cheating and it's only her to blame, the guy that she was cheating with is exonerated of all guilt. Like, no, right? And if it happened to you, I don't think you would feel it that way. If it happened to you that your girlfriend or wife would cheat with another man, you wouldn't be like, well, the other man is definitely off the hook. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. It's entirely her fault. No, you'd probably say, no, it's both their fault. Like, how dare he and how dare she? With the exception, of course, if the guy genuinely doesn't know. Like, he had no idea that you were in the picture. Then it's a completely different thing. But in all situations, obviously, cheating is immoral. If a relationship is going downhill and you do not like your spouse or your significant other, you're supposed to break up the relationship before cheating. And then it's not cheating, obviously, right? So if you choose to stay with a person for various reasons while at the same time you're sleeping around with other people, it's not fair to the other people who may think that they can actually get a relationship from you. It's not fair to the person you're with. And it also can destroy a family. So if you have children, that's even worse. So that's my opinion on it. Regarding the thing with the military, like, obviously, what they're trying to say is that women aren't loyal, right? But my counter argument is that, do you think the men that are cheating with those women are loyal? Again, it's not a gender issue. It's something that's happening on both sexes. And it has happened for such a long time, to the point where in the military they even have a name for the guy. It's Jody, right? Like, they torment recruits with this. It's like, while you're out here, Jody is banging your wife, right? So, like, this has happened for many times. And again, you know, the conversation is that, well, women aren't loyal. But, all right, well, France under Nazi occupation had a lot of men that were snitches, a lot of men that switched sides. You're looking at it just isolating everything else and zooming in. It's like, okay, but I think it's human nature to be cowardly. It's human nature to not be loyal to the military. While some people are. Like, some people are very loyal. And again, there are cases that I personally know where the guy went to prison for more than 5 years and the woman never cheated once, even though she had the opportunity. I don't have the statistics, though. I don't know how often that happens one way or another. But like, the reverse would also be interesting to see. Like, if the woman goes to prison, is the guy going to cheat on her or not? Right? So you can, or if the woman goes to military, right? If the woman goes to the military and she's deployed for like 2 or 3 years, is the guy going to cheat on her or not? Like, we never ask these questions. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.